Whew. Good morning. Morning. Another beautiful. It's Tuesday, and I'm giving thanks to my higher self, God, whatever you want to call it, whatever connects you to the whole of the human race, that energy. How do you perceive it, or shall I say? What does he do to you? That whole being of ours that connects us all together. I am saying good morning to this morning and just embracing every single one of it. Embracing it. It is going to be a rainy day today, so I got to get this thing out of the way real quick. Yes, that's what I'm actually doing, getting this thing called me running in out of the way real quick and start this beautiful day today with positive thinking. Excuse me, positive thinking is what it's all about today. Positive thinking, man, that's what it's all about today. I'm truly grateful, really. I'm truly grateful. So it's another beautiful day this morning again. I think it might be a rainy day today. As you can see, the wind is out in full force. So I'm just sort of out here today. And of course, the meditation, the yoga, and all that actually is what I start my day with this morning. Let me turn around back here because I wanted to go all the way to the fields, but I'm just gonna keep it real short this morning. So another beautiful day, another beautiful smile. Where's my smile? Let me smile at myself real quick. Let me see that smile. Another beautiful day as I track along, and gratefulness, shall I say. Let me just actually need one of those cameras that I can actually that will allow me to move a little faster when I'm doing this, but it's okay. I think I got up about 3 a.m. this morning as usual. I like that alarm when it goes off at 2:22 because that's my favorite number, 2:22. When you actually Google the spiritual meaning of 2:22, it has a meaning to it. So 2:22, I see it everywhere. I wake up with it. When it's 2:22 in the afternoon, I will look up and it's 2:22 p.m. So that's a reminder that, wow, I've been up for 12 hours already. Okay. Okay, I can take that. Then everywhere I go, I just see 2:22. I could see it everywhere, maybe like a couple of times a day. So 2:22 is a unique number for me. And of course, my birthday is November 22nd. So those numbers, I begin to kind of just put a lot of things into this thing called the meditative jog. It's becoming just like a way for me to express myself on my feet. I am 45,000 miles into it. Believe it or not. Don't get me wrong. So I've done it through every ups and downs of my beautiful life. From the, having a baby, transitioning, living everywhere in everybody's backyard, cars, shelters, you name it. I've just done it. When I had a little setback, got fender with a car and had to reheal my body. I never let it stop me. That time was even more tougher because now I went from running a marathon in 3 hours to walking 3 miles in 3 hours. So that really changed my whole thinking that yes, it literally takes me 3 hours to walk 3 miles my first time, while normally I will have run 26 miles and I'll be having dinner. And it just brought me to life. So for a minute, I had to stick to that 3 miles, 3 miles in 3 hours for a long time. Then I begin to do 1 mile in 30 minutes. Then it went down to 25, 18, and I'm surprised. So now I'm got into that 13 and 14 right now, and no, 12 and 14. So I'm like, yes, okay, I got to bring it down more again. So it's just really fun how the body actually works. You know, the things that we take for granted, the amazing part of it. Look at me blowing my nose. It's a little chilly this morning. And of course, it also allowed me to dabbled more in my yoga practice, because the way medicine is designed, I took the medication properly. And that properly meaning, no matter how bad the injury is, most of the medicine that we take has a label on it, and it would actually tell you how many days to take it for. And what has happened a lot of times, those days are just too short in our brains, because when they say 7 days and you're still in extreme pain, now that is the part that we're not ready to deal with. So it is very, it's very normal to just stick to the pills until you can't feel it anymore. But what those pills end up doing to us, you become so addicted to it, and it goes to someone else. It takes over the mind. So for me, when I got clattered with a car, I did exactly what the bottle said. Plus, I was feeling heavy. When I took those pills, all I wanted to do is eat and sleep. And that's just not me. So I read the bottle and I got off of it. And I'm beginning to heal myself very slowly, my whole body. And that whole process means the ability to let go and be in the moment. And that ability to let go means no matter what your situation is, you are not allowed to worry. Because when you worry, your body never gets healed. It is just one of the hardest things that I have to find out. So that's how I begin to do my yoga more. I begin to do push-up with yoga, stretching. Like literally, I think it took me about almost 2 years just to do 10 push-ups every day. But I was so grateful, because in my head I was thinking, if I can run 100 miles, I can heal this body. So even though I was in discomfort, my brain was acting as if I was running an ultra marathon and I'm just taking a break. So, and that's what I did. Then there was the time I walked every day. There's the time I did 6 miles every day for 6 months. That's how I began to build my muscle back up again. Because I went to 0, couldn't even do biscuits, should I say. You know, then I started walking 6 days every day. Now I just started that, then I started walking 2 miles every day. Then the 3 miles was amazing. For like about 4 weeks, it took me 3 hours. And I could not do nothing but to just laugh my head off. I could not do nothing. And mind you, at that time, I was divorced. I was experiencing homelessness, and I had an immigration issue. So it was really fun. I just could not stop laughing, because the whole idea of this thing called dreams, I finally realized I was the dream. Because if I'm walking 3 miles in 3 hours, I mean, it was hilarious. I had a lot of time to think, and it was fun. It was fun. So then from those 3 miles, I went to doing 4 miles. Then I started doing 6 miles. I walked 6 miles for like about 6 months. Funny, believe it or not. And I posted all on Facebook. How I healed my body back. Then I went to a period of 8 miles every day, just jogging. Then I started hearing 2-mile increase. I was like, what the biscuit? They were so painful too. Then I went to 10 miles. Then I got to 26 miles. And I was doing 26 miles every day too. And the pain was just so ridiculous. Then I went back and I was doing 70. So I figured, okay, what book would be a good book to actually read during this transitioning? So I picked up the Bible again for the third time. I read that book every day. So I now would do 17 to 26 miles. So I did that for another year. I was like, oh my goodness, that was extremely painful. Then I went through another year. Every 10 days, I just run 50 to 56 miles. And those 10 days will go by so fast. Every time I do that 56 miles, I spend 12 hours doing it. Sometimes 14 hours. Extremely painful too. 14 hours. I remember sometimes I would go on that trail and stretch and just sit on the floor and continue. So it would I would literally, I think I did, that was around that 2018. I would do 50 miles every 5 to 10 days. And it was amazing. So, and I did that for another year because I was listening to my brain, what it tells me. Then when I got to 2020, around that 2019, I began to hear that voice that said, okay, you got to start running every day. And I was like, what the biscuit? What the biscuit? Running every day, you got to be biscuit kidding me. Do you know what my body's going through? But I did it anyway because I listened. So I began with the 4 miles and it literally took 4.5 years for me to get my whole range of motion back into my body. And that's what happened when you don't take this medicine. And I come to realize, being around the chiropractor, that it takes 7 years for our body to grow, and no wonder. So which brought a great light of senses to my head, because during that time, I just do any little job that I could do, but the noise, I just ignored it because people would tell me, go and look for it. But because I always smile, I never talk about what is going on in my body. Most of the days that I run the last couple of years, I run it in a crucial, I can't even describe the pain. But it's just, because of that compassion that I have for what I'm doing, I breathe through it. I was so out of shape, it's not even funny. So last year, when I heard that voice, so I began to run every day last year. So last year was the first time in about 3.5 to 4 years that I actually run every day, that I did 6,000 miles. So the last time I did something like that was probably 7 years or more. I don't even know when I did. I did like 7,000 miles. And because it's just all about that meditation, to me, I still get out every day. I run through all those setbacks, physical setbacks. I can brag and talk about it now, but I was in pain. I can smile now when I'm talking about it, but holy biscuit, I was in pain. But I just never ever give up. I'm so stubborn, and I know that I'm extremely stubborn. I refuse. And then when I started doing the little research and I started hearing stuff about, you might not be able to walk again, that even inspired me. I don't want to hear that biscuit. So I run away from everything and just do it my way and listen to that voice. It was, oh my goodness, I can say it right now. I was in pain. Maybe up to October last year. But I was in a crucial, but because I just love coming out, you would never know it. So, and that's how I got to that. So that last year, my goal was to run a marathon every weekend, and I did it. So I started out running 9 miles back in January last year. Do the 9-mile meditative jog, and every weekend I'll do 26 or 30 miles. So that's what I did all throughout last year. I run 12 to 13 miles Monday to Friday, and every weekend I just did my marathons. So in the total, I was like, oh my goodness, I got to run over 50 marathons last year. So I did like 26. So then I brought it down again. So I've just been doing the A-in, because it's not all about that anymore. It's about the spiritual transitioning that I get out of it. The emotional feeling, the collective consciousness that he has allowed me to talk about. That's what I get out of it. And excuse me, what I realized by last year October was I come to find out that my whole left side was paralyzed. I am like, what the biscuit? Yes. And I begin to start to see the movement. And those are the things that yoga does to you, because it really opens up your body. So right now, I have more energy to my right side of the brain. And the last part now is to the left side. It's absolutely amazing. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. You know, like literally, I was telling someone the other day, I am out of shape. And the question is, how do you do all this? I just lean forward and relax. I am out of shape, but I lean forward and just relax. And that's just what it is. There's a technique to this thing. Like literally out of shape. You know, most people are a lot stronger than me right now. But I've managed with those push-ups to build inner strength. So, and that's the beauty about the body. And this thing has just become that whole spiritual being for me. I truly believe the mind can do anything. And that's what I've just done in the last couple of years. And meditation. 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 That's what it's all about. It is really funny when we talk about it, but yes, meditation can heal the body. It might take longer, but when we truly put our mind into it, meditation will heal your body. It is absolutely amazing, but it requires, I said, at least 8 hours of your day, which most of us just don't have. It blew me away. 8 hours of your day, your physical therapy and meditation, you will heal the body back to where it belongs. It is just so that simple. No cutting of the corners, no shortcuts. If you're truly injured, whatever happened to your body, and you truly want to heal it, you give your body 8 hours of attention and meditate upon it. You will heal that body. Because you know what? Whew, look at the guy that did it. Me. So for all my families, cousins, the reason why I didn't go and get a full-time job or do what everyone is doing was because all these days I was battling, with my health. And based on all these studies that I've done, the only way to bring the body back to life, you have to spend 8 hours with it. And this is the guy. So when I look at 9-to-5 job, it is the most easiest thing that I've ever done. Unlike being able to sit still, get up and run, do all the exercises that is required for 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day sometimes, and focus, not worry about your financial status, extremely hard. Because right there, you reprogram your mind. And once I reprogram my mind to believing that I'm just wealthy no matter what, it is absolutely amazing that yes, wealth starts in the brain. I sound crazy to a lot of my friends right now because, I even went and test drive QF80 Infinity. People just laughing at me that, dude, do you have a job? No. But it's just, I've reprogrammed my brain every day. I write to my body. There was a book that I read, that taught me those things. I've forgotten this lady's name. Oh, biscuit, why can't I remember it? You can heal your body. You can write to your body and it'll heal itself. This is not a movie thing. You can heal your body. In your fingers, there's powers that lays. And I'm saying this for somebody. Let me see. Before, the flexibility in my hand was like this. This is how much I can fist my hand. But because of all the yoga, I'm literally almost done fisting my hand and the meditation. I lost flexibility in my hand. I lost it everywhere. But I began to write to my organs every morning and come out and smile. But now I can actually just tell people how I did it. And it is true. So whatever you're going through, because in case somebody's watching this right now, if you're going through a stage where you are experiencing all type of shortness in your body, I don't look at it as a shortness, as a bad thing. I just want whoever that person is, if you're laying in a hospital, whatever you're laying, you can heal your body, no matter what. You can heal your body. It has taken me 4.5 years, but the reward, and that's why I said, yeah, I got to run another 100 miles. I haven't run one in years. As a matter of fact, 100 miles, it's almost becoming simple now. If I do one right now, I will, not if I do one, if I'm to run 100 miles right now, it'll literally take me 35 hours. And I don't want to spend 35 hours on my feet. That's just it. So, that's just it. I don't want to do that. I want to do it a little more faster. So, yes, till tomorrow, happy Tuesday. What can I say? The human body, holistic. You are the being, you are strong, and I keep on saying, I will never forget this. To all the women who give birth to life every day, I wanted you to know that when I saw you gave birth, I knew I can run 100 miles. When I saw my son being born, 100 miles feels like a walk in the park. Because if a woman can push out a baby, please. I definitely can run 100 miles. It ain't that serious. One love.